I'm going to start the reading now, and I'll see if I want to end up keeping that first part of it, okay? But this is going to be a Divine Masculine check-in, okay? So let's see what's going on with the Divine Masculine here. I got a lot of cards, but I'm not gonna, there's some reversals in here. I'm not gonna take them, okay? So, the Star keeps coming up. We've got the Star, the World, Two of Swords, Eight of Cups, Two of Wands. So, I definitely feel the masculine wants a new beginning in his life. He feels like something is over. He feels like he's ready to start anew. He feels like he's ready to reignite this sense of life that he hasn't felt in a while. And he's ready to leave something behind. But I still feel like he's trying to figure out the logistics of how that would go, okay? There is a completion here. And there is a new beginning here. And there is like him sort of at the crossroads in his life. We've got Two of Wands and Two of Swords. But I feel like he's not really sure how to do this. He doesn't really know what that looks like, but I feel like he knows that he needs a change, okay? He knows that things need to change. This isn't working, okay? And he still feels like something in his soul could be restored, whether it's this dynamic with the Divine Feminine or just his sense of feeling like himself again, okay? But let's pull some more cards for that. Five of Wands, the Hierophant, and Nine of Swords. I feel like he's maybe seeking like advice from people or trying to ask people who he thinks could guide him, or he may be doing yoga or meditation to quiet the thoughts in his head, because I feel he's really, really conflicted and he doesn't really realize what it is that's making him so miserable still. And I think that's part of the problem is in order to fix it, he has to address what it is. And if the feminine has removed herself from his life, he's very used to blaming her as the source of his dysfunction, as the source of his pain. But when she's not in the picture, he has to face himself, which he still can't do. So he's like, what can I change around me to change what's inside of me, okay? And the answer really is a spiritual path. And the feminine already knows this because the feminine has had very little control over the things around her, whereas the masculine has sort of been able to pick and choose who he wants, what kind of situation he wants. And so this actually brings him back to looking to the feminine to see, well, I know that I hurt her and all she wanted was me. So how did she overcome in her life when everything around her was not the way she wanted to? And he sees her spiritual path, and that's where she becomes like his muse, okay? So this is a very interesting thing, because it's not that he's going to choose the feminine because he's like consciously, I want the feminine more than the karmic. It's that he's trying to get some inspiration about what to do, and then he looks to the feminine, because who holds a very strong energy field in his life? The feminine, okay? This is from Mystic. You guys, I just said he's at a crossroads and refocus. And what he really needs, another thing that he needs to look at now, you guys on the feminine path, for me, this is the answer, okay? So we need an energetic detachment from everything around us in order to see clearly, in order to refocus. And the feminine has been on a very solo journey. You know, a lot of feminines don't date. A lot of them focus on their business. They focus on, like, these are two feminine energies, okay? So he's going to end up looking to the feminine because that's what happens here, and seeing what has she been doing, because she's not posting on Instagram with all her friends out drinking. She may have at some point, but a true, not to say if you're a divine feminine you can't be doing that, but you're usually very honed in on your own energy and your path, okay? And you're moving forward because of it. And, you know, like someone once said to me, this is a very lonely journey. And it is. When you're a true divine feminine, you realize that you have to get the answers from yourself. You have to retract your energy a lot of times, and you have to spend a lot of time alone to recharge yourself. And like I said, he's at a crossroads, and he's realizing the answer comes from going within. That's the only answer. And that's like, well, yeah, we understand that, but he's still like, but what on the outside can I change? And you can't change anything on the outside. Any perceived notion that you have control over anything on the outside is an illusion. You don't, okay? So this is a lesson that I feel the masculine is starting to learn, a very, if he's not learning it, I feel he eventually will, because the feminine has had to learn it, okay? So, shining through. I'm going to see what that card means. A burst of magic. I got that yesterday. This could be like his spiritual, it's almost like I feel like he's going to wake up one day and he's going to feel like the presence of another energy, like shining through, like he's going to see the light. And he's going to see everything he did. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning, which I still haven't decided if I'm going to include my own personal blurb that I did at the beginning, but maybe I'll do it after. You are being called to step into your true power and essence. This is one of those times when you're required to bring everything you are, all that you've learned, experienced, and integrated, and offer it up in service to the world. So in order for him to do this, he does have to go solo, because be careful of the voices in your head that say you can't, or you don't know enough, or who you are to shine. This is where I also feel like he's going to look to, what did the feminine do? Because a lot of feminines, you know, like myself, like started channels in the midst of their darkness when, you know, their confidence wasn't at their highest. It's not like they were like, oh, I'm feeling great, I'm going to start a channel. Like a lot of them built beauty from ashes, okay? And we did it when our negative thoughts were maybe at our worst, but the calling was so much stronger than the feeling inside, than the self-doubt. And it's not even that it was even consciously calling. It was that the mission was demanding we step up. I'm looking for this other deck. The mission, the voice of the mission was so strong that we had no choice but to do it, okay? Everything was pushing us, and it was almost kind of like a survival instinct, okay? And so, and that's where the magic happens, is when we are doing things without really realizing where we're going with it, but we just know we have to make a decision. And I feel the masculine has been in this very indecisive space for so long that something is going to have to pull him out of the muck here. Okay, I want to use a couple of tarot. This is like my favorite tarot deck, other than the Saucer Rabito. But I always get good messages from, I'm not going to do reversals, from this mystical cat. So let's see. So I do feel like the world is like, it's his karmic time, and it may not be now, but something is brewing eventually to bring him out of this. Now, I know a lot of divine feminines watch and they're like, what about union? But this is all leading to that, because this is all leading to him coming to his own, which if he is your divine masculine, there's no way that you guys can't end up aligning when he aligns with himself. But the feminine has to align as well here, okay? We've got Queen of Pentacles. This is what I'm saying. The feminine has to stay true in her power and her energy too. Four of Cups and Seven of Wands. Now, the masculine was very defended against this Queen of Pentacles, because I also feel a part of him didn't feel worthy of someone who was so established and confident, or not confident. It's funny because all the words my masculine has used against me are actually quite opposite of who I am. I'm actually Queen of Pentacles. at my core, but the version he's seen of me is not, right? But he didn't feel worthy of a counterpart because he didn't feel that he was evolved to his point, okay? So he pushed this feminine away. But that was out of his own insecurities, okay? So you guys don't necessarily have to identify as Queen of Pentacles. That is an earth sign, but that's just someone who is got it all together, really, okay? But his worthiness for that feminine will rise up when he starts to get into his own mission. Silenced, non-action. So I feel that you guys might be thinking, no, I don't think my masculine's there because I don't think he's saying anything. But, you know, part of this silence is about him being solitary and staying focused. If he's hitting the feminine up right when he's having these revelations, he's not going to fulfill his mission. So that's the whole point, is that first, both parties are supposed to fulfill their mission here, okay? Get from the, what is this? Work Your Light Oracle. Inner Temple. This is so much energy, guys, about going inward. That's what I've been saying with this solitude and refocus. Devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. This is where he needs to get to. This is the ultimate goal, is for him to get inside to his mission and to inside to what his true desires are, not just when it comes to love, but when it comes to his life and his what he wants to accomplish here, okay? And this, to me, reminds me of the Hierophant card that I pulled, like the actual image. Yeah, look at this. To me, both of these are getting really balanced so he could see clearly, okay? They're both in that meditative space. And he might, you know, be very lost, like he hasn't really found a spiritual calling, but I feel like as he's on the journey, it will come to him. Protection. This is what I was saying about protecting. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. This aligns with the solitary mode, okay? So a lot of this is about like really him cutting the energy around him, really getting in touch with himself. And this is like a fear of the masculine, because I feel this masculine is very much afraid to be alone here. Okay, so let's pull some final cards from the Elqui Oracle about where the feminine's at. She who questions, she who flies, dare, do, reach, curiosity, destiny. I also feel the feminine, like I was saying in my beginning little spiel, is like kind of, it's interesting because I feel as the masculine will start to realize more, wow, it's the feminine I needed to look to. It was my own insecurities. I wasn't following my path. I wasn't in tune to what I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't in tune to being a divine masculine. Is actually when she's starting to question. It's almost like in a movie or a TV show when that's the point where she's actually already gone, unfortunately. And that doesn't mean they're not meant to be together, but it means that he's supposed to be going through what she went through now, and the tables will turn, and that will be that energetic switch. And it's all for both to really just get in touch with who they both are, because he's had his time to fly and experience other things in the 3D world. And I do believe in order for them to come together, the feminine also has to have her time with other people, whatever it is, with her own joy, with her own freedom. Because as the masculine has been in this relationship, she has been stuck. She has been in this 3D mentality that this means that she was inferior, she was a failure, whatever. So either she's working through those things because she just has, or him finally releasing the karmic releases her from that feeling of like inadequacy. Not to say though she has to get to that point anyways, but there is a sort of energetic connection there, obviously. So she does need to be released from this bondage of not being chosen, okay? And I feel like that will be when he comes about, but that will be also when she starts to question why am I really staying here, and what is this really about, okay? All right, so guys, that is my reading for you. I hope it resonated. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.